So our next speaker, it still says guest speaker. May, it says guest speaker. It's May Ghali, and her speech will be a 8 to 10 minute speech on pathways, engaging humor, level 3, engage your audience with humor. So an 8 to 10 minute speech, and what she says, the title of the speech is DTM, what is the fuss all about? And May says, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to your club. The speech was inspired by your club meetings, and that is why I would like to deliver them in your club. My speech is to share my process towards the DTM with some humor. Welcome, May. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, and welcome back. You were dearly missed. DTM, what is the fuss all about, really? Toastmaster is a nonprofit educational organization. And to that effect, it had put together a program with a number of tasks. When you complete all those tasks, they give you a plaque, the DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. The question, is it worth it? Let me share with you my process towards the DTM and how it affected other parts of my life. When I joined, originally, we had a different program than the current pathway. They handed me 2 manuals. And I'm like, really? Am I back to school? I didn't sign up for that. The idea was, if it's not fun, it's not Toastmasters. I didn't read the fine print, evidently. It's my fault. I started plowing into all those projects and completed the first book, CC, Competent Communication, and then the next one, CL, Competent Leadership. I know. Toastmasters is notorious for all these acronyms. CC, CL, DTM. They have more alphabet than what is in a bowl of an alphabet soup. There you go. After completing that, of course, the organization by January 2018 announced that they're rolling out the program, the older one, within 2 years and a half, and they're starting pathways. And any designation anyone had achieved will not be passed on to the new program. Like, really? It took me a year and a half to do just 10 projects and 10 speeches. What a curveball. Well, I decided to take that curve and run with it. So within a year and a half, I completed 36 more speeches. Yes, I was running. But guess what? That's where the learning occurs. Presenting almost 2 speeches every month. During those years and a half, the year and a half, I also was the president of my club. As a president, I had to put 6 meetings throughout the year. And I learned how to put an agenda, how to run a club executive meeting, how to allow the other members to contribute throughout the meeting and still manage to end with an hour. Again, that was a great learning experience for me. Another task was to complete what they call HPL. There you go, all these acronyms, High Performance Leadership Project. And I decided that the project will be to guide my club towards the President Distinguished Award. That was like being a project manager. The project was, by the end of June 30th that year, to get the award, to make sure that we have members, that the members also can complete all their educational program. So I had a time frame, I had a scope, and the team was all the club members. I tell you, I feel that I have completed a master's with a project management. So again, doing the task, you learn. The next year, the last final year before the whole program is rolled out, I was an area director. And let me tell you, slaving. I had to visit 5 clubs twice a year, and on top of it, report on them. You know what? I was groping in the dark. You know, ignorance is a bliss. Had I known any better, I probably would have not done that. But again, the learning happens when you are doing the tasks. I also was the chair of the area contest for the fall and the spring. And that was pulling all the dignitaries, all the contestants. Again, it's another project management. I was also a club coach. That was going to be a piece of cake, of course. I just show up, tell them what they have to do, voila. It was more like picking up the pieces. It was not a piece of cake. They only had 8 members, and that's when the clubs qualify for a coach. So I ended up showing to the meetings. I did not put their agenda together, but I was mentally and prepared to help in any role they needed. They needed a joke, I had one. They needed a word of the day, I had one. They needed an educational moment, I had one. Timer, even a speaker. And that's where I developed my ability to speak in front of a different group than my club. The end of the whole thing. But no, Mother Nature has to have to contribute. Another curveball, COVID-19. And it was a big effort to make the clubs go on Zoom. Not all of them, but a number of them. And Zoom, we went on to Zoom. By June 30th, 2020, I had completed everything, and the clubs did well and the area did well. And that's when I received my DTM. Can I share the plaque? Can I do a share? Am I allowed to share the screen? Everyone? Madam Toastmaster of the Day?
Yeah, but I think the host has to make it.
Okay, can you allow me to share?
Edward will.
You should be able to.
Or Steve will.
You should be able
Okay,
to.
I should be able to.
Yes.
I will? Okay. So let me just, for the, I'm not sure that even I know how to do it, but I'll give it a try just for everyone. And I will say done. Okay, there it is. Voila. Now, do you see it? Does everyone see it?
Yep.
Yes, we can see
Yes.
it. Congratulations.
Okay. Well, thank you. I just wanted to share that, and then I will say stop sharing. I mean, how do I do that? I just say stop. Okay, I said stop sharing. Now, after this, I have learned a lot about public speaking and leadership. And I was able to apply the skills outside Toastmasters. Let me share with you a few incidents. Last year, the CEO of my company sent an email company-wide asking for contribution for any ideas to improve the company. Prior to Toastmasters, I would have delete. But because of the confidence and the different speeches I started putting together week after week, I was able to write an email with all my recommendations. Within 2 days, I received a thank you note, not only from the CEO, but from the CEO of pharmacy. On a very slow Sunday afternoon last year, before COVID, a student, an 8th grader, came up to me and asked me if he can ask me a few questions about my profession for his project. Prior to Toastmaster, I would say, sorry, darling, I don't have the time. But because of all the table topics, I was able to answer his questions, and he was able to put it in a report and received an A for it. Before COVID, in the public library where I live in Sarasota, they have displays. They had a great display one day of scientific books and writers and science fiction. I had the courage to drop an appreciation note in the box Prior, I would have just gone on my merry way. Within a couple of days, I received a thank you from the director of the pharmacy, of the library, with more recommendations. Now, I volunteer for Visible Men Academy. It's a charter school for inner city boys. After I help with an hour with some of the kids, I also have to write a report about their progress. One time, the counselor asked me for her to come and join her in her office to thank me on the detailed reports because it helped her assess the children. And this is because of all the evaluation that I give on a regular basis, and I spared none in my reports. Fellow Toastmasters. DTM, to achieve it, I had to complete so many tasks in communication, 46 speeches, and all the other leadership tasks and projects. I gained a lot of confidence and I learned a lot. I was able to apply it in my world and in my life. DTM, what's the fuss all about? You decide.